We all are. Awesome.
Okay.
Fifth grade or sixth grade?
It was sixth grade, right? Because then you did 2 years,
Middle school.
2 years in middle school.
Junior.
Yeah, it
Whatever
was junior high.
I meant to
Then-
say, I heard that Lauren joined the fire department. Yes. Oh, very good. Yeah. Longer here and, yeah, that's.
Here's my 3-minute timer.
Start yelling at the kids when they're
No,
going.
I'm not gonna do that on the kids. That's for public speakers that we got it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We got 1 minute.
Let's do it.
Let's make a silly face. Yeah. One silly face. Here we go. All right, now make a nice face at one point. You want your mom to see. They're the same.
Same pace, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I've got 7 o'clock. We will call this meeting of the Board of Trustees together. We'll do a real quick tech check, make sure folks out on Zoom can hear us. And if someone out in Zoom land would care to reply back.
I can hear you, Mayor Todd.
Okay, we're good to go. Okay, good deal. All board members are present. And so if you would, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, with liberty and justice for all.
And I will tell you, we will pick up static occasionally on the microphone, so that's that noise you hear. There's not a lot we can do about it right now, except shut things off, but so. Okay, moving on to item number 2. Do we have any additions, deletions, or corrections to our agenda?
No corrections.
Trustees? If there are no corrections, I'd entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
It's been moved to second, we approve the agenda as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item is item number 3, our consent agenda. And it's the minutes from our April 4th trustee meeting. There's no additions or deletions, corrections. I'd entertain a motion on that.
I'll motion to approve the minutes for April 4th, 2023.
Give it to me.
I'll second.
Give it. Then just give it to me. I know what I'm doing.
Good.
Thank you. I deal with audio here a lot. Yeah, you have to leave it on. So. There. If you switch it off, that's when you'll get that really bad noise. So you don't switch it off. Just do things with the blue button. Yeah, it's on now.
Yeah, no, I know it's working, but it's not working.
Then shut your blue button off. There you go. Okay, I think I had a motion and a second over here on our minutes for item number 3. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 4, our public comment. We have 3 minutes per speaker, and do we have anyone signed up for public comment? And I'm not seeing any hands go up in the audience.
Apparently not.
Did we have a public commenter on Zoom? No public commenters on Zoom? Okay, well, if that's the case, we'll just go ahead and move on to item number 5. Our first item of business is a presentation from Ute Pass Elementary School. And I think we have a few speakers. And just be sure to, so people on Zoom can hear you, they need to.
Okay, so I'm gonna do very little speaking. I'm just here on behalf of 4th and 5th grade at UPass Elementary School. My name is Barrett Weiscycle. I teach 4th grade. Mal Riffle teaches 5th grade down there. Our students are gonna do the rest. So thank you.
We'll be able to tell.
Hey, Paxton, just make sure the
Thank you.
blue light's on. It's on cool.
Good evening, Green Mountain Falls Board of Trustees. My name is Paxton, and I am representing the UPass Elementary's 4th grade class. Thank you for allowing us to join you at this meeting tonight so we can explain how we are going to restore, revitalize, and conserve green spaces in our amazing community. I know I might be young, but I can still make a big difference.
Hello, my name is Amelia, and I'm also presenting on behalf of my class at UPass Elementary. This year, we've been studying community green spaces. The EPA, which is the Environmental Protection Agency, defines a green space as a land that is covered in grass, trees, shrubs, etc. My class and I have been researching and studying the impacts of green spaces on our physical and mental health, flora and fauna, and overall human and environmental health. We are strong advocates for the environment and will do anything we can to help protect the natural spaces in our local community as well as the world. Thank you for taking this time to learn about the benefits of green spaces that go beyond them just looking nice.
Hello, my name is Ty and I am representing the UPass fourth graders. I know that is my job as a citizen and steward of the environment to protect our environment and local green spaces. Even though there are only 24 of us, I know that we can make a huge difference. We care about our school community and most importantly, we care about the environment. And green spaces benefit both animals and people equally, and it would be terrible if we just stopped caring for them. I consider myself lucky to be part of this process, and I'm excited to support our school's community and natural spaces. I hope you allow our class and future classes to adopt the site and care for it.
Good evening. My name is Claire, and this evening I will be talking on behalf of my class at UPass Elementary about the benefits of a green space in our community. Research shows that having easy access to a natural space in nature, such as a green space, can lower the chances of disease and mental illness in both children and adults. If we have plenty of green spaces, the benefits are huge. They decrease the amount of stress and anxiety in adults and children. A green space can also create a happier and healthier ecosystem for community members of all ages to learn in and enjoy. Green spaces also support a strong biodiversity of the native flora and fauna. The healthier our natural spaces are, the healthier we are. I think it is important for you to know that I am committed to protecting our natural environment by adopting the park on the southwest side of the pond. We will care for it and mentor the younger grades in how to care for it moving forward.
Hello, my name is Lois and I am representing fourth grade class at UPass. You are probably wondering what would happen if we had no green spaces. Well, the world would not be good and healthy. People would not have a place where they can relieve stress and anxiety. Other reasons we need green spaces is that there would be too much carbon dioxide in the air, which would not be good. Scientists know that plants and trees help clean our air and take out the carbon dioxide. Also, where would the children play? People would also be less connected to their phones if we kept green spaces healthy. People would have more places to go in nature. Without green spaces, our communities would be a sad place for the animals and people to live. I hope you learned all about what would happen if we did not have any green spaces.
Thank you for letting us come here tonight to hear about our plan to adopt a green space. We know that we must be careful when we work at our site. The Parks, Recreation, and Trails Advisory Committee asked us how we would make sure that we are safe during work days. Well, on Monday, we went to Red Rocks Open Space with our whole school to revitalize an illegally dug pond by planting native plants. When we were there, the Colorado Springs Parks and Recreation gave us safety training by teaching us how to properly use tools and work in a restoration site safely. We will be using this training on our first workday on May 11th. During this workday, we will be learning about the growing space and deciding what type of flora would be best to plant there. We will also begin some weeding of the sites and cleaning our old dying material to help the new growth this summer.
Hello, my name is Eden, and you're probably wondering why green spaces are important to our community. Green spaces are important to our community because they provide a habitat to our fauna and flora. They also provide an area to grow, explore, relax, and enjoy the environment. Green spaces are also very healthy for children, including mental health and physical health, when they are living, playing, or learning in green spaces. Seeing local bees here would be great when we plant more flora. Thank you.
Adopt a park agreement between the town of Green Mountain Falls and the UPass Elementary fourth grade class, April 5th, 2023. This agreement is to allow UPass fourth graders to maintain the green space. This agreement, additional work may be done in the area on the southwest shore of the pond as shown in figure 1 for the 1 year from the signing of and this agreement, additional work may be done in surrounding areas for fourth grade discretion. Barrett Weiss Cycle and UPass agrees to following. 1, we will plant native pollinators. 2, we will pick up all the dog and goose scat. 3, we could refurbish benches and plants by staining them. 4, we will remove the dead weeds and non-native invasive flora. 5, with approval, we would add flower plants. The following is requested from the town. 1, a sign indicating that this area has been adopted, or sign designed at UPass. This agreement may be terminated at any time by either party.
Hello, this is Amelia again, and these are the adoption phases. First phase of site adoption: remove old or dead organic material. Remove or rearrange unneeded landscape. Remove invasive flora from site. Prepping the site for growing. Remove any inorganic material not needed. Second phase: adding native pollinating flora, herbs, vegetables, perennials. Continued commitment: necessary weeding or removal of organic material. Clean or remove inorganic material. Watering throughout the dry months while maintaining water-wise balance. Scheduled work days. First work day to remove weeds and dead or dying organic material. 5-11, 9:30 through 1 o'clock. More work days will be scheduled moving into summer. Thank you.
Okay, presenters, thank you very much. And thank you to the teachers and the parents as well for bringing your children out.
Yeah, I think we have.
Yep, we got one more for fifth grade.
Thank you.
Good morning, Green Mountain Falls Board of I'm sorry. Okay, let's try that again. Good evening, Green Mountain Falls Board of Trustees. My name is Elissa Aldrich, and I am representing fifth grade at UPass. We will talk to you guys about the green space we are trying to adopt. We know we are young, but we can still make a difference in this huge world. We know how our actions can affect your town, and we hope we can make this place better than it was before, even if it's a small percentage of the town. Well, thanks for coming. We do appreciate your company. Please do enjoy the presentation of our green space we are trying to adopt. Hello, I am Angela Obeda, and I am here tonight to talk about the green space that fifth graders want to adopt. We have been learning about green spaces with the fourth grade class, and we have learned that green spaces can help the community and the environment. Green spaces can help green spaces can help the community by reducing the stress of the people in the town, and it will also make the town look even better. Hello, my name is Demarie McCluskey, and I'll be presenting why green spaces are important. They are important because they improve air quality. Green spaces also moderate temperatures during heat spells and provide cool shaded areas. I like green spaces because it literally helps the world, and helping the world will take a lot. Thank you for listening to this. And I am reading on the behalf of one of the students. I'm going to tell you about the purposes of making a green spaces. Some purposes of making green spaces are to make the place more enjoyable, to help the green space population grow, to make the vegetation grow better, and to make a better place to be. More purposes is that we are giving back to the community. And we are making a place where everybody, kids and adults of all ages can be and enjoy the outdoors. Green spaces can help relax and calm the mind, and can bring out the appreciation for nature that people may not know they have not had. These are purposes of making a green space.
Hello, my name is Ilana Aldrich. I'm representing the Youth Pass Elementary School. This is the proposal of Green Mountain Falls Green Space. We propose that we should maintain the area next to the pool park as seen in figure 1. We propose this because we want to clear out all the invasive flora and non-invasive flora to make Green Mountain Falls pool park a more enjoyable place. We agree to do the following. 1, we will clean up the trash. 2, we will plant non-invasive flora. 3, we promise to keep native flora and non-native flora out. 4, we will buy the seeds, plants, and anything else needed for that area. 5, we will water, clean, trim, and keep the plants well kept.
Hello, my name is Josiah Kalman, and I am representing the Youth Pass Elementary School. This is the proposal of Green Mountain Falls Green Space. I am going to propose to you about what we are going to do with the space that you have provided us. Phase 1, we are going to remove old organic matter so new plants can grow there. We will also remove and rearrange unneeded landscape, which includes rock and pine needles. In the process of doing this, we will make sure to remove invasive and non-needed flora in this area. Phase 2, we will also prepare this area / site for growing native plants. When we do this, we will remove any inorganic material not needed in this space. We will add native pollinating flora to this area as needed. In this area, we will add herbs, vegetables, and flowers. Continued commitment. Necessary weeding, and we will remove inorganic material as needed. We will clean up this area and keep plants maintained at all times. This means we will clean up trash and unnecessary organic material. We will water the space as needed throughout the dry months while maintaining water waste practice. I'd like to thank you for letting us propose to you. It was a pleasure doing business with you.
Pleasure doing business with you too. Again, students, teachers, parents, thank you very much. They did a very good job. You should all be very proud. So, thank you. And right now, what we do is we basically have to kind of do some discussing and see if there's any questions. And I'll go to the trustees first to see if we have any questions.
How does that affect the Hattie Morgan Memorial? Or are they not doing that side?
My understanding is it's
Just the front of it?
the front side.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's just gonna be on the front side, all of that existing landscaping.
Okay, thank you. And my second question is the signage.
Right.
We had discussed that at a previous meeting. For areas that were adopted by certain people and that was kind of shot down. Is this going to be a special?
I would say, I would think so
And
personally. And quite honest, in one of these, it said, sign designed that you pass. I wouldn't mind,
yeah,
you know,
so
both.
we spoke with
Um,
our art teacher, and we would like to do something that the kids design and put out there. We'd like to take care of that.
And the only question I would have for the board is, do we want to limit the size?
Do you have a size in mind?
A billboard.
Yeah.
I am thinking, you know. a typical project. Whatever you guys would prefer, we'd be happy to make.
2
it
foot
work.
by 2 foot,
I'm okay, you know, with the
2 foot by
discretion.
2 foot, or just
Yeah.
their discretion.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
We could certainly
Two
like
foot by 2
send
foot.
it to you, a plan to you guys,
Yeah,
and let
that'd be
you
great.
discuss it and approve it.
Okay, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
that'd be great.
Okay.
Yeah,
That'd be
I
nice.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
And then my final question for this one, while they're working, do we need to provide any traffic control?
Apologies, I've alerted the marshal's office that the kids will be on site potentially that day. I'm sure that they'll be happy to offer some support.
Okay.
From what I see, we can do most of our work from that trail right along the shore of the pond. Maybe just at the very top of the hill right there, when we do remove some weeds, we might be up there, but we'll be below the road.
Okay.
for most of it.
Okey doke. Any other questions, comments?
Just in the proposal for the pool park,
her the mic.
says that you will buy the seeds and plants and anything else needed for the area. So you
So-
have a budget.
That would- A fundraiser at the beginning of the year. This year was our first year doing that. We'll be doing it again going into the school year. This just funds our environmental outdoor education opportunities. We also do, we seed our own perennials, so we have a ton of seeds that we'll be using going into next year. We were the game going into next season, but next season, I think we'll be able to grow indoor at UPass throughout the winter and plant by. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions, comments? If not, I would entertain a motion. Do we want to do them both at the same time?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion for UPass Elementary School, the 4th and 5th graders to adopt the parks as designated, the southwest shore of the pond and the front of the pool.
I'll second.
Been moving a second that we approve the adoption of the parks as designated by UPass Elementary School. All in favor, say aye.
I
Aye. Any opposed? Picture? Hey, folks, I think we'd like to maybe try to get a picture of everyone. All right, I take the picture.
All fourth grader in the back. Yeah, face this way.
You gotta elongate, or you gotta get out, there you go. Like, you gotta get out from behind.
There's fan.
Right. Right, now smiley face. Great job, team. Super proud. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
I cut it right here and I just use.
Test. Just use mine. I'll swap you. I can deal with this. Yeah. I just swapped you. I can deal with this with whatever.
Else. Didn't like Angie get like.
Okay.
Stanford,
Our next item, item 5A, pardon me, we just completed 5A. 5B, our Bronc Day vendor waiver request. And Shelley, if you'd like to say a few words, well.
Hi, I'm Shelley Scott Nash, 7095 Iona Avenue. I'm here on the behalf of the Bronc Day committee. Bronc Day this year is July 29th. And our committee operates under the auspices of the UPass Chamber of Commerce. And we are respectfully asking that the town of Green Mountain Falls let our vendors come into town for one day, and that the town would waive the fee and license process for that one day for those vendors. And in return, we would supply some data on the vendors, including the their Colorado state tax license numbers to the town clerk. And so that's what we're asking. Any questions?
And that's 7 days prior to the event, right?
Yes, we'll get that to you probably before that.
Trustees, any questions, comments?
Is this to generate more interest in the having vendors or just?
Well, hopefully we can bring in some more people if we have more vendors. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just asking what the purpose in general
To have
is.
vendors at all, you mean? Or-
No, just is this something that's going to encourage more vendors, or is this just in general a good?
It will
idea?
encourage more vendors. It's a pretty heavy process for them to go in and apply for a year license from GMF for one day. So if we can help them out by expediting the process. And of course, they'll still be paying their 3% on the sales. We hope.
Okay, any other questions, comments?
I am going to abstain.
Okay,
I'm treasurer of the chamber and Bronc Day.
got it.
I'll be abstaining as well.
Okay, we're gonna have 2 abstentions. I'm glad we have a full quorum. So I'll go ahead and make the motion that we approve this request from the Bronc Day organizers.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. We approve the request for the request for the Bronc Days organizers. All in favor, say aye. Aye. So 3 with 2 abstentions. Okay. Our next item is item 5C, National Library Week Proclamation. And do we have anyone that would like to speak on that?
Should be blue.
Oh, great, thank you.
If it's blue.
It is blue, excellent.
Okay, you're good.
Hi, everyone. My name is Taryn Malala, and I am the manager of the UPass Library here. And National Library Week was just a couple weeks ago, and we love serving your community. So thank you all for being patrons of the library.
Good evening. I'm Dora Gonzalez. I'm the Vice President of the Pikes Peak Library District Board of Trustees. And I echo exactly what she said. And I do know from being on the Friends Board at one time that UPass does wonderful things in this community and up to Woodland Park to encourage our young children in reading. And I heard them reading their essays, which is also part of literacy. So we thank you for the support that you give our library and the families and young children here.
Good evening, Board of Trustees. My name is Erin Bentz. I'll put the mic up a little. Thanks for having us out tonight. My name is Erin Bentz. I am the Secretary Treasurer of the PPLD Board of Trustees. And again, I echo what the lady said. We're so glad to have the library here. You all have been so supportive for us. This is my second year on the board. I haven't been out to this library yet, but I'm excited to go up here and peek around and see how things work. And I just have heard wonderful things, and I'm glad that you all are here to support us, and we're here to support you. Thank you for having us up tonight.
Good evening. My name is, oh, gosh, Erin, you're tall. Good evening. My name is Teona Shainidze Krebs, and I'm the Chief Librarian and CEO for Pikes Peak Library District. And I'm so humbled to be here today. And again, I thank you all for all your support. And it was heartwarming to see the elementary school kids advocating for nature and how much they want to contribute to their community. And we greatly appreciate your contributions to Library District. And again, thank you very much.
Okay, trustees, I can read the proclamation, but I thought we probably ought to go ahead and see if there's any questions, comments, and then I'll go ahead and read it, and then we can vote on it. Okay. Whereas libraries provide the opportunity for everyone to pursue their passions and engage in lifelong learning by cultivating spaces for belonging, personal growth, and strong communities. Whereas libraries have long served as trusted institutions for all members of the community, regardless of race, ethnicity. I have trouble with that word pronouncing it, sorry. Creed, ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or socioeconomic status, including veterans, active duty military and their families, small business owners, community organizations, and places of worship. Whereas libraries strive to develop and maintain programs and collections that are as diverse as the populations they serve and ensure equity of access for all. Whereas libraries adapt to the ever-changing needs of their communities, continually expanding their collection services and partnerships. Whereas libraries play a critical role in the economic vitality of communities by providing internet and technology access, literacy skills, and support for job seekers, small businesses, and entrepreneurs. Whereas libraries are accessible and inclusive places that promote a sense of local connection, advancing understanding, civic engagement, and shared community goals. Whereas libraries are cornerstones of democracy, promoting the free exchange of information and ideas for all. Whereas librarians and library workers are joining library supporters and advocates across the nation to celebrate National Library Week. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Mayor Todd Dixon, proclaim National Library Week, April 23rd to 29th, 2023. During this week, I encourage all residents to visit their library to explore the wealth of resources available, and I will entertain a motion to approve.
Do we get to extend it? Do we get to extend it for another week?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're a little late.
Well, no less appreciative though.
Yeah.
So did it begin in April? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we're a little behind.
Behind. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to motion to approve National Library Week of late in the month of April. Is it generally the same? At the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, outstanding.
I'll second.
All right.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. We approve the National Library Week 2023 proclamation. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll try to get it on April's.
Yeah.
agenda next time.
Feel free to give us plenty of advance warning.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. It's good. It's all good.
Okay, so if I can get my screen back here. Okay. Our next item is item 5, Delta GM's Green Mountain Falls Housing and Urban Development CDBG.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully next year we'll be finished for you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
And they brought moms around. Right.
I just think we're so lucky to still have that little library.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up on your agenda is a consideration of recertification or requalifying for the CDBG county schedule where Green Mountain Falls is scheduled to requalify in 2023 for fiscal years 2024 through 26. Should you choose to requalify and authorize the mayor's signature on the attached letter in your packet, this would allow us to continue to apply for and receive funds through the CDBG program. Past projects that have been funded through this program include the accessibility for all lake project, which included your new fishing pier, as well as the application that has currently been submitted to do the phase 2 of that project. So of course, authorizing the mayor's signature on that inclusion letter and would be to also renew the intergovernmental agreement and participate in that program. There's a lot in your packet regarding this program.
Yeah, the real meat is basically the last couple pages where we're either continuing or we're terminating. That's really the meat of it. Trustees, any questions, comments?
Why would we not approve this?
Absolutely. It's a good question. There's really no reason to not approve this. It really doesn't require us to do anything if we were to not apply for funding. It just allows us to apply for funding. But it does outline in there what our responsibilities are as a organization that has received funding through this program, which we're well aware of and have practiced.
Yeah.
There are no additional questions, comments. I would entertain a motion.
I'll motion to approve GMF's HUD and CDBG programs for the mayor to sign.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. We continue on with the CDBG program. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, carries. Item number 5E, resolution 2023-06 for our personnel policies manual. I'll let you read upon that.
And this is
This resolution that's before you really is just to clean up one little item from your last personnel policies and procedures manual. that would, that had to do with, PTO and ensuring that the, accrual rates of part-time and full-time employees is consistent with current labor law and standards. Outside of that, no other changes have been made.
Trustees. Trustees, any questions, comments?
Comment on the formatting. That was to be corrected.
We've still got a lot of white space in there.
Yeah.
Trustees, any other questions, comments? And if not, I would entertain the motion.
No, I just made a comment.
So the motion would be to approve these changes
Yeah,
to the employee manual.
yeah.
It would
So
be,
I move.
You shouldn't be able to work now. Get that. I gave you my old ones. That should work now.
That's you, Sean.
There you go. I think that one's back there, so.
I'll move that we approve these changes to the employee manual.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded, we changed that we approve resolution 2023-06 for the policy, personnel policy procedures manual. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Our next item is one that had been tabled, and we've even got some additional information on this in the packet tonight with the policy, proposed policy. So maybe we decide to have brief discussion, and then I'm going to be looking to the rest of the trustees to see if we want to vote on these or as a whole or individually, and whether or not you want to do like a roll call vote on it. So yeah, would someone want to review at least the new piece? That's the proposed policy.
Sure, planning made these recommendations in the past. They came to the board, they were tabled. One of the recommendations is this resolution that's here. And it deals with staging areas and making a policy or, you know, passing a resolution to not use specific staging areas. There is a policy alternative. The board in the last meeting wanted to see kind of staff recommendations or a town policy that could be adopted as an alternative to the resolution, and that's here on the screen. And we also have a memo to planning from the board.
Yeah, the memo, at our last meeting, we kind of talked about it, but we never really said go do. And I like to try to start establishing a process where we're actually documenting if we want, say, a committee to do something, put it in writing. Also, I'd like to see all the committees do that back for the board, you know, as in a specific recommendations. BRT has done a really good job with theirs. They actually have a nice memo format that they use, and it's very clear what the expectation, what they're asking from us. So yeah, that's why I put the memo in there. So again, we have 4 old business recommendations. What's the board's desire? Do you want to all as one or do them individually?
Well, I'd like to revisit number 1.
Okay, let the static discharge. And what happens just for FYI, what we're getting when that happens is we get static discharge here in the boardroom. This is the system we have, picks up electric fields, builds up static discharge, and that's why you get the noise. Okay, so you'd like to,
Right. When this was first brought up, we had a lengthy and detailed discussion about the location for the temporary staging area,
right,
and we approved it.
right. And that's why, I'm kind of, my thoughts is we can just go down each one of these individually. If someone wants to make a statement with their vote, they can go ahead and make a statement. That's kind of what I tend to call a roll call vote. And if that's the pleasure of the board, that's what I can do. We can just go down each one of these and vote. I mean, we've already had a lot of discussion on them.
We've beaten it.
Yeah, we definitely haven't beaten it. I do wish we had the time during our work session to have discussed this at greater length. So I don't know how the rest of the board feels about that, but if we're going to have a work session in June.
Well, if we're voting tonight, then there's no need for a work session to this be on a,
If we're going to vote tonight. Right?
if we're going to vote tonight, and my intention is to vote tonight. I think we've had plenty of discussion.
Is
think
this,
we beat it.
is the area that's being used on Olathe town property?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it
In
is.
regards to that.
And I actually went down and got copies,
Mhm.
and these are my copies, because I wanted them, of the original town plats. And there's no language
Right.
in it on how it's used. It's
Identifying
just
as-
roads. It just.
And that is how I voted.
Yeah.
It's town property. It was a temporary solution
Right.
because we did not have anywhere else to put it or to allow CSU to put it.
Hey, Bo, stay on don't scroll, please. Yeah, so I think what we'll do is I'll just go down these one at a time. And we'll just do a roll call vote. The first one, item one. The recommendation is that the current staging area at Olathe and Upass is not appropriate due to zoning, and that a property is zoned mixed use would be most suitable. The old town hall site is recommended. And I think we'll just do on the roll, a Becky question.
It's as if one is really two issues. All right, we
Well,
had
I'm
two
just
issues.
reading them as they are.
Right, right.
I'm just reading them as I don't want to
Okay.
overcomplicate it. Just
Well,
leave it as it is.
That actually really complicates it because, we're one,
I think
some
you're
of us agree
overcomplicating.
that Olathe shouldn't be utilized. I mean, that's where I stand. The people in that immediate area do not want it utilized. And it's entirely unrealistic. And folks that live down there near the old town hall to even utilize that.
Yeah,
at
that
all.
point has been
Yeah.
previously made multiple times.
Mhm.
Tonight, I think we just need to vote, get it over with.
Well,
So
I-
on item
again-
number one, excuse me,
again, one doesn't, it has
Yes.
two separate issues.
and we can deal with item one as a whole. It's no different than dealing
Okay.
with any other thing we got. So. Okay, so. Does anyone want to make a motion on item number one? And I'll do it if no one wants to do it, but
I would motion that, okay, I'll let you do it.
I'll move that we do not adopt the recommendations as stated from the planning commission on item number one. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we do not adopt the recommendations in item number one. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Did anyone want to do roll call? Okay, never mind. Okay, that motion carried. That was kind of after the fact one that. Sorry about that. Next one up would be item number two. So the resolution that pass a resolution, and that would be the resolution that's on the other page. That the town recognizes that using Olathe Street as lot is not suitable for staging. Do we have a motion on this one?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that recognizing that using a lathe is not suitable for stadium.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded that we basically adopt item 2. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed,
Opposed?
nay. We have 3 nays, 2 ayes. Motion fails. So that would mean that basically dies. Item number 3, motion to recommendation that the Board of Trustees direct PRT to work with the residents on 8th Street to consider landscaping options that will enhance the feel of town. Okay, the problem I have with this one, it's not a park, so it would not fall under Park Rec and Trails purview. And so, do I have a motion on this one?
A motion that PC makes the following recommendation to the BoT, that the Board of Trustees direct PRT to work with residents on the lathe to consider landscaping options that will enhance the appeal of the town.
Do I have a second? With failure to second, motion dies. Is there another motion? I'll move that we do not adopt recommendation number 3. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved to second. We do not adopt planning commission item number 3. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
2 nays, 3 ayes. Okay. Item number 4. BoT should work with CSU to explore appropriate options that would avoid residential staging areas for the current project. Do I have a motion on this one?
As trustee King said, that one, we already voted on that
We already
one.
voted on it, so. But we probably ought to vote on the recommendation. I will move that we do not adopt planning commission recommendation number 4. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. We do not adopt planning commission recommendation number 4. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
I oppose it.
Oppose it. Yeah. Nay.
Okay, so did Catherine, were you aye?
I was in line.
Okay, another 3-2. So moving on, then it would be to the proposed policy. This was brought up at our last meeting, and staff has worked to try to draft up a potential staging policy. Are there any questions or comments on this one? And if not, I'd entertain a motion on this one.
Yes, I'd like to motion that resolution 2023-07 is approved.
That got killed with the previous vote. I'm sorry.
Okay, then what are we doing here?
We're up
Is it
here
on there?
staging. We're at the staging.
Oh,
policy.
it's not in order.
Sorry.
Mm.
So the motion would be to approve the construction and staging policy.
So that's what desire.
Um. I think it looks like a good policy. I'd like to move that we accept this construction staging policy
Do I have a second?
drafted.
Discussion.
Discussion? Yeah, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Right of ways are used for construction material all over town. Why are we being limited?
The intent of this, I believe, was to not use a specific area just time and time and time and time again, to try to maybe spread it out through other right-of-way areas throughout town. Other usable right-of-way areas throughout town. That's the intention as I read it. Is to basically say, we're not gonna keep putting it all in one place.
So again, this is in regards to Olathe and not utilizing that area time and time and time again.
That's the
So we would
intention.
come up with other alternatives.
Yeah. In other words, if we were to have another major construction project after the pump station, we would look to try to locate it in a different spot and try to kind of keep things spread, basically spreading the pain.
Can I get one of these for my road?
It would apply to all, as written, it would apply to all town right of ways.
Mhm. But you were saying that it's particularly referring to Olathe.
The genesis was the Olathe concerns. That was the genesis of what kind of brought it up, and the concerns that have been brought up with our pretty much continued use of Olathe as the staging area.
It says here, utilizing the pool parking area in times that the pool is not going to be operational. So seasonal usage.
Yeah, that's what it says for the pool parking area. That space may only be used if the pool is not open. So it basically, there's a policy that says, yeah, we can stage here too. But
This, I don't think this policy solves anything. Nobody had said Olathe was exclusively for construction materials. The problem has been over the years that stuff is just piled up there. And before the CSU project, there was just junk there. There was old used pipes. And this issue was addressed over and over and over again, and nobody ever did anything about it. And that's what brings us to this point where we're making these rules that, for instance, this rule doesn't really mean anything because there is no one spot in town that is exclusively designated as a staging area for town construction. There is none.
right.
Right. So what are we voting on?
It's to try to prevent the Olathe situation by trying to, as a town policy, as I read it, try to say, okay, we've been using that almost exclusively on occasion. Okay, don't use it exclusively. Spread the pain, so to speak.
Well, Trustee King already pointed out that there's stuff that's piled on her street as well.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not designated as an exclusive construction zone either.
Yeah, it would apply equally to right of ways.
Okay. So every other time,
Uh,
every fourth time,
as, let's see, it says as part of this policy, the town will weigh the benefits to the public and practicality of the staging area before assigning a staging area for town project.
I get it, but it's not really addressing anything because there's no exclusivity to any place.
There's no
Right.
exclusivity in any place. It
Exactly.
becomes as a practical and whatnot.
Right. So I just see it as smoke.
Okay.
And I also see the pool parking area being used. We're gonna get the complaints from the same people. The same folks who are complaining about the staging on Olathe because it will be seen by visitors.
Mhm. Yep, that's accurate.
I feel like this is getting rushed as much as we've talked about it, as you say, like almost being, turning blue in the face. I feel kind of uncomfortable proceeding with, just finalizing tonight's vote on something we didn't even get an opportunity to really discuss during our workshop tonight. I feel like we obviously haven't discovered an amicable resolution that makes our citizens in that immediate area happy. I think that was what the spirit of this was to come up with a resolution, come up with a solution for the people that live in that immediate area. For Sunday, who lives in an area that there may be essentially garbage, just laying out there. I don't know. I do believe we should be discussing this a little more.
I think more discussion would be helpful. Maybe we should table this. One of the things that I'm thinking of that's not addressed here is some parameters about how long things are there. I mean, some of the complaints I'm hearing, like, that there was just stuff kind of dumped and left there for, indefinite periods of time. I think we could clean that up. That would be really helpful. I know we have some estimates about how long we'll be using that CSU plans to use that area. And I think that should be the standard, that we should always have, some window wherever things are being staged or dumped or whatever, that there's only a limited amount of time that they can sit there.
Yeah, and the fact that we're talking about a staging area that's right on top of a creek. They're right up against the creek. I mean, I'm not trying to assume that there are laws, that may preclude us from utilizing that area at all, because it's right on top of the creek. I went out there. I think we all have. And, I've walked it, it's 3 feet away from, maybe 18 inches away from where it just dips down into the creek. I'm just saying, I think we should still talk about this. I don't think that there's a solution this
Are there
evening.
comments that you want to give to staff as far as any updates to this policy, or do you just want to table the policy for a later time?
Honestly, I think we should table it. Yeah.
Well, we
I
could
think
table it,
should
but
talk.
I would like the duration, or there to be some parameters
Yeah.
involved with the within the staging policy. So it's not just kind of, you dump it
I think that's a good start.
wherever for whenever,
Yeah.
however length of time is just, I think
Okay,
there's,
so table, but at a minimum, at a duration.
I mean, that's something that we should discuss at the next, yeah. I mean, that's one of a very multifaceted issue here. That's one of the issues.
Well, the duration depends on the timing of the project.
It does.
Like something like this, that, I mean, they're not going to be done until like next year.
well, yeah, but
Yeah.
but if it's
End of this
just
year.
like things are parked there out of convenience,
Yeah.
that's not really, there should be something in a policy that says you can't just leave stuff sitting there for an indefinite period of
Yeah.
time.
Why wasn't any of that handled by Public Works?
That was pretty much, it was going on before most of the folks here were sitting at these tables.
But don't you feel that fell under the Public Works purview?
Yeah, in certain regards, certainly, but a lot of times that space had been used by other contractors too, and it became what was used because it's what's available and level in town, to be honest.
Yeah, but
it's-
the problem, there was no response to the complaints. I mean, there's no reason to have rusty culvert,
Right.
crushed rusty culvert that's not doing anything, just sitting there. And every time a complaint was made to the town, it was just ignored. And like I said, not this group that's here, not that the group that's over there. But that's what led us to what the problem is now.
Yeah, so again, I think we need time to discuss this policy about Olathe and again, down behind the post office there, which is just obviously town property, but kind of unrealistic for staging. We've all been there. We've all looked at it. You won't be able to, we can fit the trash receptacles there.
Nothing, yeah.
That's it.
There's no room.
I can just turn my car around. So, okay, so I would motion that we table this policy, staging policy, and until we've
Next
had
meeting.
our work sessions.
Next meeting.
That maybe next meeting. I mean, I don't know if this is something we resolve. The good news is, well, not the good news, but you know, that project's not going to be done for a hot minute. That stuff is still going to be sitting there. So we've got a little bit of time to discuss this. But again, like the motion that we just tabled this construction staging policy until
So are we going to table it until the next meeting or continue it to a future meeting? Tabling is the next meeting.
table it until we can resolve our citizens' concerns and trustee concerns, town management concerns.
I think that's a continued.
It's indefinite. Yeah, I mean, it's continued.
I'd like to try to get a timeline set so we can get something done and move on, whatever the something is.
Yeah, but again, I mean, it's a good thing that, of course, we have a minute. You know, it's occupied right now. It's being utilized.
Okay, what was your motion again? You were moving the.
So yes, like to motion to table the construction staging policy for continued discussion.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I guess what I'm thinking is one of the things you'd like is to make sure that it's part of a workshop.
Yes.
So that it's
So
not
further
just-
discussion,
so it's not
workshops,
just part of our agenda, but it's.
not
our
part of
workshop
BOT
discussion.
agenda. Yes, that's correct.
I'll
So-
second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. We
That's
table the
good, thank you.
construction staging policy until we can discuss it in a workshop. I got that.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, item 6A, liquor tastings of information.
So this is a result of some legislation that was passed at the state level, which allows the local licensing authority, which is you, all to approve, should you want to, fermented malt beverage tastings, the same way that wine tastings would be authorized. Currently, there are no fermented malt beverage producers here locally, so this really doesn't apply to you, but it came down from the pipeline. Wanted to let you know that should, in the event that there be a brewery here or somebody that's making fermented malt beverages, you could grant them the ability to also do tastings much in the same way as wineries do. Information only.
Informational. Okay, thank you. Any questions on the information?
Doing that.
It's a distillery.
It's a distillery. It's different.
Not a brewery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, if there's no other questions, we'll move on to the item 6B. The RTA report.
Oh, go back up. So this is just to let you know, back down. We did get submitted our PPRTA reimbursement for our annual maintenance funds. And this total actually changed a little bit after this report was compiled. They did adjust some of our list there, and we ended up with $80,000 and change that came in as part of your reimbursement for your 2022 maintenance funds. Just wanted to prep you all for this, as in 2022, there was some unspent carryover from 2021 that was reallocated to that 2022. So in your final budget for 2022, you actually had 99,000 reserved for that. We'd spent 80,000 of that. So there will be some additional carryover from 2022 for the balance of that approximately $19,000 that we can reallocate to this year's maintenance funds for roads. This just working with Public Works, we're kind of identifying where that funding will really make a difference, and putting together a little bit of a plan. But we will likely be bringing you an amended budget that we'll be working on this summer.
Any questions, comments about the RTA report? Okay, if not, we have any correspondence? Item 7. No, no correspondence. Okay, we'll go to our reports. John, you're first.
Hang on, there were short people up here. I gotta adjust this mic. Good evening. First, part of my report, I would like to thank you guys for supporting the library. My grandmother was a librarian. She's actually one of the founders or the co-founders of the bookmobile downtown. So thank you for supporting those guys. The kids are always near and dear to my heart. I was a SRO before this life. And so thank you for supporting them as well and cheering them on. I'd also like to thank the media in the room. These guys have never done me wrong. Cops are very reticent to get in front of media unless they absolutely have to for whatever reason. And with these two guys that we have here, I generally don't have a problem. Pat did a really nice article for me this last week, so thank you very much. As you can see in my report, we were kind of par for the course, 35 complaints or cases taken or complaints taken. Nothing too outlandish. We had 3 other agencies assist us. We assisted 4 other agencies this month, so we were a little bit busy. Deputy Starks and I were able to attend the wildfire tabletop exercise, which was extremely valuable for us. We found a lot of deficiencies that we were able to correct and to have some valuable talking, learning, growing points to the point where now we're going to do a full scale exercise, it sounds like here soon. So that's in the works. We didn't work any extra details, and Deputy Starks continues his training. He is still in shadow phase. He's so close to being done. It's just, like I said, every time it's just slow up here, and every time he gets just a little chunk, he's almost there. The new patrol car is still being outfitted. It sounds like one of our major hangups is electronics, so computers, radios, such like that. Sounds like there's still a little backlog bump of being able to get stuff from suppliers, from what I'm understanding. So that is one of our major holdups. That's my report. Questions?
Trustees, questions?
Need anything from us?
I'm good. Thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. You guys are deputized too. Everybody got a sticker. You guys didn't get stickers, but all the kids did and those guys did.
Okay, thanks,
Thank
John.
you.
Okay, how about committee reports? Do we have any of the committee chairs online or here that would like to report? Okay, moving on. Town clerk.
So here's my report. I have my routine ongoing activities here as normal. The big news is I'm trying to implement a short-term rental waiting list. I haven't needed it yet. We just went through renewals. I have a couple that seem like they're not going to renew. I sent the certified letter pending that. I'm trying not to pull the rug out. And I haven't had a compelling reason to, with a lot of people backed up, but we're right at our number, and it's time for a waiting list. So that's below this. I have a draft for what that would look like. And I'm going to be posting this here shortly, working out some bugs, and hopefully filling those other 2 licenses and then moving into that. So after that happens, I want to get into records. Part of my GovPro training was records retention and the retention schedule. So our problem here, we're pretty organized. We've kept too many records, and I think it's just time to clean house. So I'm going to start with adding a retention date, kill date, burn date to everything that we recatalog, and kind of getting into the paper and making it look better.
Okay, any questions for Bo?
Did I forget anything?
Oh, okay, Becky, you're next.
Awesome. Couple of updates on current projects. The Stilling Basins is on the home stretch there. We did find some utilities again that were at different depths that than were reported on the locates. We will have the utility company out early next week to fix that and relocate that line. The majority of that work is complete with the exception of tying in that final drain, doing some erosion control and resurfacing. We're still looking pretty good for anticipated completion of that project around the middle of May. Looking forward to that. Of course, Gazebo Lake is complete. The contractor is still doing a little bit of cleanup that was not able to be done while the ground was frozen. So again, some of that erosion control and filling in that area around the new concrete path. We are eager to hear whether or not we are funded for that phase 2, but we're gonna have to wait until August to know. So I'll keep you in the loop if we have anything new come up there. Our comprehensive roads plan is in draft. He supplied Public Works with some prioritized project plans for those minor road repairs. But he'll have that draft plan in presentation form to you all for our next meeting. We do have an opening at the Public Works Department. That position is posted to the town's website, and we do have an interim contract employee assisting with some of the roads and equipment maintenance until we're able to fill that position with a full-time person. So want to thank him for making himself available to come help out. Still doing a little bit of snow removal and that cleaning and organization of the Public Works yard. It's looking really great over there. And then we do have our CIRSA safety audit tomorrow where they will come out and make sure that we got the things done that were identified in last year's list and help prioritize a little bit. I'm sure they'll find something new. And then, of course, still working on continuing to build up that stockpile of road base for that spring road buildup. We are nearing the final stretches of our 2022 audit. Probably have a couple of chores tasks that need to be completed there. It is my hope that we'll be able to also have that draft audit or that audit report to you at the next meeting. But there is a potential, depending on the other communities that the auditor is working with, that we'll have to be a little bit flexible with that scheduling. So we do have some alternative dates in mind that would be the week of June 12th, following your board meeting, if need be. I'll keep you in the loop there as well. Of course, we got the CPW grant program. Thanks a lot to the PRT that came up with some fantastic design concepts. They were a little bit different than the original grant that was submitted, but I was able to reach out to CPW and no amendment to that is needed. We are looking at bringing down those large trees on Oak Street here in the next couple of weeks. So there has been some signage posted there just to let folks know that that will be occurring. Those logs that are going to be, I know that the town has oftentimes in the past offered those logs up for firewood. These are not only beetle kill logs, there's also active beetle infestation in those trees. So I've requested that the contractor remove those from the site so that we don't continue to contaminate healthy trees. I would like to also thank the PRT for their assistance in getting the CDPHE grant for the addition of a potential recycling area submitted. Yay. And then we are working to also de-winterize a lot of the town's facilities to include the Gazebo Lake irrigation as well as the pool. We have somebody coming out to take, no, we need to get a hold of an electrician. We haven't quite yet secured one. To come and take a look at the pump on the fountain. It looks like it may be in disrepair and might need to have something done with that. So I'll let you know what we find out there. And then we do have our lifeguard positions posted on the town website with the application deadline of May 15th. So some progress there. Did receive one application today. Also, we attended that emergency evacuation table talk exercise. I want to thank all the staff and community members, board members that attended that. It was a really great exercise. We were such a good team that we were invited to participate in a full-scale exercise. So that will not occur until late fall. It's quite a undertaking to do that type of that type of exercise. It's pretty coordinated. So really cool, but it really does help us to identify gaps in our emergency preparedness prior to something happening. So really, really great. Also working to update our town's continuity of operations plan. For those of you who are unfamiliar with that, it really does help us to look at what, how, and where we do things so that in the event that we don't have access to the who, what, or how, we are still able to do that function. So want to thank our volunteer who has stepped up to help with that. Trustee Donzello.
Well, you're very welcome.
Appreciate it. That is all that I have right now, or at least that I remembered to get into my report. Any questions for me?
What is the status? I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
What is the status of that pool report, the feasibility report that we approved?
Yes, from the UCD, the University Technical Assistance Team, we have, I think part of it needing to pivot a little bit because of the work that the PRT, the plan that the PRT put together. So I think that once that facility is open, they've offered to do certain things like surveying the community, helping do some data gathering. And I think that this period, this summer, will be a perfect opportunity to do some of that data gathering, looking at additional uses for that space, how it could be expanded, what are its needs, and they'll help us put that sort of a little bit more of a plan put together.
Could we get like a list of the things that they, the data that they want to actually collect? Is that something that they might be able to provide for next meeting? Just see, it sounds like
Sure.
there's more than what you just.
Yeah,
said.
I think the big thing is that, we did have a little bit of a scope of work put together in that agreement that we did. Of course, that's really flexible. They're willing to mold what they do into meeting the town's needs.
So is that cool if like PRT can powwow with them and?
Absolutely. And they did send out like a little bit, they sent me a draft survey, of questions and I felt like it was probably more basic than the information that we're hoping to get. So I'll be working with them to update those questions, and probably would love to have some help from the PRT if they're willing.
I have two questions. One pertaining, I guess, because we're already talking about the pool, the well. I know it's collapsed. I know that there are other types of wells we can utilize even closer to the creek. That would be something that would be great to try to come up with a solution with, perhaps even PRT, some of those folks. The other question was when we can get together to discuss that diabolical guardrail situation that's bottlenecked. I had Darlene Avery, I was talking to her today, and the Reverend Mother, her mother was, I guess, coming down the hill, and like a truck was barreling up and like drove her into the rail.
I'm really glad that you brought this up. That's the thing that was missing from my report. So the Planning Commission has organized a town hall meeting. It'll be a week from today here at this location, where anybody can come in and hypothesize solutions to that.
Okay.
We will then take some of those ideas to our town engineer and look at feasibility on them.
Okay. And we're just utilizing one engineer at this point?
He's the one that's on the project. He's familiar with it for efficiency. I would say yes, and then we'll
He's the
bring.
fellow that put the guardrail there?
Mhm.
Okay.
He understands why it needs to be there and why it was designed in there. Then from there, we'll bring those solutions to you before you for consideration.
Okay. Can we also include in the discussion, whoever the contractors are that we're utilizing for the project so that, you know, if something looks completely bonkers, they would have the, well, this is what we've been doing for so many years and this doesn't look right. So, I mean, is that something we could
We need to
include the
be-
people who
we
do the
need-
work?
Well, okay, we need to be careful about going outside of contracts.
Right. Which is why I'm saying,
we're-
like, can we bring the people who would be fixing that issue to
well,
look at the
okay.
engineering and
It depends on what the end state looks like.
Mhm.
If it's something that can be done by Public Works, we can do it with our own Public Works.
Right.
If it's something that requires, basically going outside Public Works, we will likely have to create preliminary engineering and cost analysis first, and then go out for bid based upon the engineering and the cost
Oh,
analysis.
I guess what I'm saying, I guess what I'm saying is, before we implement or execute any correction to that area, that the people, the grunts on the ground actually, doing the dirt work, have the ability to
We can't
open dialogue
really
and talk to us.
Well, as part of the bidding process, the potential contractors can come in and ask questions,
Okay.
and we have a question and answer session.
And
as
to
part
talk
of the
about their
bidding
concerns
process.
about the solution.
Yeah, they
Okay.
can.
That's what I'm
bring up-
talking about. Just a
that's what- yeah,
process. So
there-
you and I mean, well, you're an engineer, right? But so that people, who aren't engineers, laymen can,
Well, this.
listen
this
to the
is-
folks.
this Be part of it's, what do you call that? It's when they come in and they basically ask questions.
So we usually do a pre-bid meeting, which allows contractors to come in and ensure that they are clear about what the project plans are and ask those questions and, evaluate feasibility and their ability to complete the project.
Yeah. Because I guess, something was broken down, it seems like, in the process where maybe something in communication, because I'm sure a guy and a gal, guys and gals that are the grunts on the ground moving the dirt, at some point maybe didn't possibly feel comfortable debating or talking
Well,
about the issues.
again, what you need to have the point to have discussions is before you actually finalize the engineering.
Yeah, right.
That's the point at which you want to, because once you finalize the engineering and it goes out for bid, the bidders can come in and say, don't agree with the engineering.
See, that's what I want to hear.
Okay.
Yeah. That
but
something
yeah,
just
this-
can't, like, this is, on paper, it's an 11-foot road or so, and, several feet of it is taken up by, like,
Yeah.
just things like
it's a
that,
choke
so that
point,
we don't,
But yeah,
approve
the
what they're gonna
process
plan.
is, if we have to go out and get something bid,
Right.
then we'll likely have to come up with, and there's funding involved. You got to do the preliminary engineering and the cost. The way that I would recommend you do is you preliminary engineering and cost estimates. And we may even have to chase money to do that.
Yeah.
And then once the preliminary engineering is done, then you start working through to get to the final engineering. And that's when you really need to have the interaction with the public.
Where do you think the process broke down? Or was there even just out of curiosity, because you've
That's a tough one, because basically what happened was we had to have water breaks. The plans are here. The guardrail was always in the plans.
Yeah.
It's just, it got extended because of the water breaks and because they wrote it under the wall. The project engineer made a call and they said extend it on the way up.
Okay.
And,
so there was a
the rest
change
is-
order.
Yeah, there was a change
in the
order.
middle of
We
the,
actually voted on that change order.
yeah,
already.
just don't
So yeah, but
kind of
it,
ignorant to that stuff. So,
and so, yeah, we need to, I would say, let's have the meeting next week and see what the
okay.
folks really want. Anything from, removal to something completely new.
Right.
So, yeah, let's see what the public wants to have the public meeting next week and see the results.
Any indication where money is gonna come from? for this?
Well, here's the reality. Any additional spending right now, you have to basically factor in that we're eating into our general fund balance.
Yeah.
Any at all. Is the same with the pool.
Is there any insurance for mistakes, construction, public works mistakes?
Okay. I'm getting the signal from the audience that we need to move on.
Oh, we do?
So we need to, this will be stuff that we can discuss next week.
Right. All right.
So, okay, so moving on to trustee reports.
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. I'm sure you've all heard of Senate Bill 213 by now. It was going through yet another round, even today, I believe, and maybe still going on. My concern on that one, the first projected cost, and there's when you go look at the bills, they have the fiscal notes with it. The first fiscal note estimated annual recurring cost of $30,000 per municipality. The second one didn't even bother estimating. And it's highly dependent upon what's in and what's out. And it's causing me a lot of concern if we end up having to drop $30,000 into whatever the state's mandating. So yeah, just a heads up on that. A lot of folks are still opposing, but anyway, let's see what else. I didn't really have anything burning that's already been mentioned about the meeting next week. So, and you've already mentioned about the work potentially starting here within the next couple of weeks on the dumpster blind. So I'm gonna say that's all for me. Anyone else have any burning issues? Gone. It's 8:33 and we'll adjourn this meeting.